What's going on, everyone? Moose here, Airguns of Michigan, and we are live. Tuesday night, we will have Tom Holland in here soon enough. Tom looks like he might be running just a tad behind. No big deal one way or the other. It is what it is, and he'll be joining us soon enough. So let me get this all behind. No big deal one way or the other. Situated over here. There we go. All right. So, Michigan Air Donner, what's going on, man? Oh, what a good night it's going to be. We got all kinds of stuff to talk about, including, if you guys notice in the caption, memberships to my channel are coming, and there's going to be some awesome stuff that goes along with those memberships, including one level of membership that is going to be exclusive to 2 guns that I'm going to give away each year. And you have to join that membership level to get involved with that. But it is only open to members of that level. So you guys will have to wait, stay tuned until I get all the details worked out, but it's going to be good. And we're not talking about, cheap air gun giveaways. We're going to actually give away some really nice stuff to members of. Right now, I have it listed at 1 membership level. I may open up a 2nd membership level that'll add that to it as well. But we'll talk about that once the memberships get up and rolling. But how's everybody doing tonight? It is Tuesday night, and we're just waiting on Tom. Matter of fact, I'm going to message Tom and ask Tom if he's going to be joining us. Let me find him here. Anyway, so like I said, hopefully everybody had a good start to the week, and it's Tuesday. We're almost there, guys. We're almost halfway through the day. One more work day and I'm off till Tuesday. Oh yeah, sounds like a good plan to me. That'll be a nice break. I'm actually I think I'm gonna head to the range in the morning and do a little pre-tune video on the Viroc. And I'm also going to be taking the gun sand out and doing some 50-yard shooting with that. So I'll be able to bring you guys that video as well. And we'll have a couple of new hold on one second. Sorry about that. Tom was asking me a question real quick. Hold on. Anywho, but yeah, so I'm going to be shooting the gun sand video tomorrow. We'll be talking about that, and we'll also be talking about the HW97K pre-tune. As Thursday, I am taking my gun over to Vortec products to have it all upgraded, and we'll do a post-tune video and see exactly what kind of differences we're getting. I'm going to shoot the exact same pellet. It might take me it might take a different pellet to get it back shooting. Per Tom at Vortec, He said if it likes a pellet now, it might not like that same pellet after the tune, which I have a feeling it's going to be just fine. I don't think we're going to have any issues. If anything, I think we're just going to get a little bit of speed out of it. So, yep, cool, Peter. Yep, I'm actually really looking forward to going out there and dropping my gun off. So, and now he's talking about he might be able to just do it while I wait. So that's even cooler. But yeah, I'm super stoked to have that done. For those of you guys that are planning on going to RMAC, hopefully you went ahead and registered this morning. I think it was 10 a.m. Mountain Time. And I actually messaged a bunch of the people that I knew were going, and they went ahead and got registered. So I was already registered, so I didn't have to worry about it. But it's going to be super cool. And I'm really excited to share this membership thing with you guys through Airguns of Michigan here. There's going to be a lot of exclusive things that take place for the different membership levels. And I think you guys are really going to dig it. So it'll help the channel out to keep bringing you guys content, but it's also going to benefit you guys as well. And it's going to be fun. So be on the lookout for that join button that's going to be added to the channel soon enough. So we'll go from there. What's everybody got planned for the weekend? Hopefully some good times. I'm looking forward to it for sure. Backyard Sniper, what's going on, man? What's going on? You're all right, man. We're only 5 minutes in. You're good. The only thing we talked about so far was basically, hopefully, if you were planning on going to RMAC, that you went ahead and registered. And we also talked about the memberships that are going to be coming to Airguns of Michigan's YouTube channel. And hopefully you guys will get involved in that membership and, having a good time. Hunting, barbecue, and fire and hunting. Yeah, if there's anything open right now to hunt, I'd love to go hunting myself. But here where I'm at, there's no open seasons right now. So I can fish, but small game shut down, so not a lot going on. Next year, says Backyard Sniper, I have a lot to learn before I compete. Yeah, honestly, man, I thought the same thing, and everybody was like, dude, just get out and have a good time. And definitely there's only so much you can prepare, right? I mean, if you know how to shoot your gun, you're prepared. And it's a really good time, and it's not about necessarily getting out there and killing it and and doing the best ever. So, but I never forget beer. I always got beer. Let's bring Tom in here. Tom's finally with us. What's going on, Tom? Hey, I hope you copied the link and put it somewhere so that you don't lose it.
Well, what happened was when I clicked on it last week, it went into my old mail folder, and it wasn't with new mail, so I couldn't find it. And I got it now.
Right. Good.
Not a
Sorry
problem
about that, man. You were like, "Hey, send me the link," and I'm like, "Dude, I'm live." Like, I'd have to completely stop the live to click off and send a bunch of links and stuff. So,
well, that's why I'm doing it on my laptop, and then I can search, because it took forever on the laptop to scroll and find it and everything. And with my phone, it was just like, and I'm like, what date was that? And I'm like, crap, today is this and that, and I'm counting back, and I got the number wrong anyway, so I had to go look at the phone and what the actual dates were. So All good.
Yep. Good. Joe Nolan, sorry I'm late. The FX hybrid slugs came today. Hells
Cool.
yeah. Love shooting hybrids. Backyard sniper figured out that I can shoot at night with a light on the target. I love doing that myself. And I've never
Makes it
engaged a
right.
target over 30 yards. I need to learn the wind at 100. Listen, funny thing that you say that, because when we talk about wind and we talk about shooting at 100 yards, bro, there ain't shit to learn. It's pray to God that you
Well,
can frickin' make it, because
yes and
I've
no.
shot some. Hold on, let me finish.
There are methods.
Because I can tell you this, I've shot a lot of 100-yard ranges now. And just when you think
That's
you
good.
got it all figured out, you ain't got shit figured out. Because what will happen is you're going to get back drafts, you're going to get forward drafts, you're going to get left to right, and it changes down there before it might hit you, or it might hit you, and you think that, oh, hey, the wind's coming out of the left to the right, but 100 yards down range, that wind's still going right to left. So without having a bunch of flags out and stuff like that, which, I mean, I guess you can do it. You're going to find out real quick and in a hurry that
Which was going to bring me
the wind and a prayer.
Suggest that, well, you got a ways to think about it on how to make it or whatever. What I would do is I would make wind flags to put up in your lane. Make them small, cheap, but effective. Ever see the one of the best ones I've seen actually is something simple like a piece of wire or a wooden dowel or something sticking up, 18 inches or so, or off the ground or whatever, and just put the fluorescent orange tape that you would see at a construction site. You could buy a roll of it for probably buy 3 rolls of it for like $1 or something like that, and make a little stand that's nice and heavy. Or I wouldn't count that you can stick it in the ground, because ground could be like a rock, literally. Make a stand where the wind won't blow it over, or something that has a weight to it, piece of steel or some lead or something on a base, and just put them out like every 25 yards all the way out to 100.
Right.
You'll be allowed to do that, I believe, as long as your flags stay within your lane that's allotted to you between you and the target. I think that would be a very effective method of determining what the wind is doing at your distances. So
yeah,
you can,
Joe, I like that idea, Joe, with the metal coat hanger and the orange yarn. That'll work good too. I take the tape off my tins, and I'll either put like half of it down at my target and the other half on my barrel. But just remember, guys, keep it fun. I see guys, listen, and this is why I say this.
And I was going to bring up that subject too.
I'm going to tell you right now, I see guys that get so wrapped up in all the bullshit, all of it. I went to 100-yard egg shoot, and I literally watched guys put flags every 10 yards all the way down the lane just so they could shoot a 100-yard egg. I didn't use one, and I did better than the majority of those guys because I was there having fun.
Right.
You do your sighters, and and you're going to learn, and then you just kind of wait a little bit, watch other people's stuff, but listen, have fun. And by the way, this is Moose with the Airgun Helpline. Mike, I saw your question, and I'm going to tell you right now, you go for it, big guy. Don't let anybody hold you back from your dream of making a big purchase, and it is 100% okay. And if your wife's got a problem with it, you just tell her to email me, moose@airgunsofmichigan.com, which is a bullshit email address, and you let her know how she feels, or let me know how she feels, and I'll send her something.
It's always okay.
It is always okay.
Always okay. But what I would do just to prepare for it, I would get wind flags from like every 25 yards or so. That limits it to what? eight wind flags or six, seven wind flags. I believe there is a rule that you cannot have a wind device on your bench or on your gun. Has to be out in the field someplace.
Michigan Air, good luck with that. I believe, backyard sniper, just real quick to touch on that subject, go shoot an egg at 100 yards. It's more than you think. And listen, Rick,
yeah, it is.
And you ask Rick, because I did, how many shots he took at 100 yards to light a match. It wasn't one.
And it wasn't three.
Right. So, let me tell you something. Let me know when you shoot, 20 eggs in a row with one shot per egg. You let me know. You let me know how hard that was.
So
it's harder than you think.
Getting back to your wind flags, if it would be a good representation of what's kind of going on. So now they say that the wind affects the pellet more when it's first coming out of the gun than downrange. Well, maybe not. You could have 5 miles an hour wind at you, and it could be 20 miles an hour wind downrange. So, but the general rule of thumb, you see 3 flags going one way and 3 going the other way, just go right down the middle. If more flags are going to one side than the other, maybe aim to that side, or use your instinct. You can also use, and Moose, you'll know what I'm talking about, with your higher magnification scopes that you have. And once you're zeroed in on, say, 100 yards, you'll see mirage between you and the target. Depending on what that mirage does, you can kind of determine what the wind is doing in which direction, if you know how to read it right. Now, if you see a mirage that goes straight up, and the waves of the mirage generally go straight up or a little bit to the left or a little bit to the right or something like that, that's zero wind, maybe a slight breeze. If you see it laying over maybe a little bit more than that, that's like a 2 or 3 mile an hour wind. If you see a mirage at about 45 degrees, that's about a 5 to 7 degree, 5 to 7 mile an hour wind. Once you see it lay over totally and just going left to right or from right to left, that's usually about 10, 12 miles an hour or more. And the problem is you can't tell if it's at that point, if it's 10 or 12 miles an hour or 20. That's the tough part. When you have little, small, subtle winds, it's a lot easier to tell it through mirage, through the scope, than just guessing at it. So
now I'm going to interject and say that hurt my fucking brain. I feel stupider trying to remember all that. Not that it's bad info. It's not. I'm just saying, me personally, I'm one of those guys. I shoot from the cuff. I wait. Right. I watch a little bit here, watch a little bit there, and I do pretty decent.
Well, what I would advise going into a big competition, because that was probably one of the things we were going to talk about, competitions and
for sure
keeping your head cool and what do you do to prepare and all of that kind of stuff. For me, it's tough because I don't get nervous. I've been doing it so long, so often. Going into a big match or something, to me, it's not a big match. It's just, I'm just going to go, and I do my thing. But you'll get guys that really, really get wrapped up in it. And what I would do is worry about what you're doing and your buddies that you're going with, good friends, I suppose. And go to have fun. But don't worry about what the guy next to you is doing, because I had an
he might have less of an idea than what you do.
Here's a perfect story for you, and I've heard of this happening more than once. I was at a high-power rifle match in Camp Smith, New York. We were shooting 1,000 yards over the valley. And I'm prone, and I'm struggling just to get my shots on target. So I sitting there, I'm shooting. I can't get it. The guy that's with me, my coach, he doesn't know what's going on. So we asked the guy next to us, well, how are you getting on target? Oh, well, I dialed 3 left. All right. So I take the M1 Garand, I dialed 3 left, and I missed him. And later on, they go, yeah, the 3 left didn't work for me. He goes, well, you asked me what I did. I didn't tell you if it worked or not. Really? Well, I missed to the left. So did I.
At the end of the day, listen, competitions. Listen, at the end of August, I'm going to be shooting in a competition where I could potentially win $21,000. Do I expect to win $21,000? No. But I've watched enough RMAC shooting competitions to see that all those guys that do all that extra research and all that and this and that are shooting just as bad as the guy who showed up, who doesn't have his wind flags out and is just shooting targets. That's the key. Get out there and shoot. We talk about wind, and listen, and I'm not saying there's not a science to it, but don't put so much stress on yourself with all that bullshit that you forget that you're there to have a good time and that you want to have a good time, right? It's funny that you say that at work. A young buck said, do you have to approve that with your wife before I say anything? Somebody, right. But you know what I mean? It's like, listen, you could take the next 2 years of your life and try to dissect wind and try to figure it all out. And I hear it time and time again from guys at 100 yard. The wind was doing shit that I just couldn't figure out.
The more you shoot at that distance,
let me finish talking.
The more you get.
I mean, we're talking about guys that shoot all the time. Go watch the RMAC videos and listen to what these pro shooters that should be winning these events and are not necessarily winning are saying when they get out there and they're like, man, I thought I had the wind read down. And, and to me, that takes away from the fun of Lyme there, right? I mean, if you want to turn it into, you're going to take the next year of your life to try to figure out all the science, and instead of just having a good time and shooting, I mean, dude, my range has got left, right, up, down, in and out, wind, all over the place. So I go out there and I try to get a good feel for what I'm doing, not put so much science in my head that it becomes work. And and to me, I shoot to have a good time. So we know how it feels. I mean, we get it. There's a lot of guys out there that are going to wind flag the hell out of it. They're going to figure out all those calculations. And then you got the other guys like me who just want to go and have a good time. And learn to shoot your gun. Look at Rick Rames. Yep. We asked him when he was live with us, how did you get to be such a good shot? And he's like, I started paying attention to my gun. My guns talk to me. And honestly, the guy's probably shot that much that they actually do. We watch this guy time and time again. Rick ain't got wind flags out. He's used to it because that's what he does. He goes out and shoots. So just keep that in mind.
Yep, but you know what? This is the New York in me, and I know this, but this is the New York in me. Whenever you have something like that, a competition with that much money at stake, there's going to be some questionable people doing some questionable things. And I'm sure that, not that someone would cheat, but they would probably bend the rules or they would go to extremes. Money does strange things to some people, particularly 21 grand or 10 grand and 5 grand is first, second, and third place.
Right. Yeah, except, there's really no way to cheat. How are you going to cheat? You can't shoot slugs. You have to shoot pellets. Somebody's watching.
Slip slugs in when no one sees it.
Nah, ain't nobody going to do that.
Really? Guy cheated in the World Championships for field target by doing that. He's swapping pellets out. He got caught.
Well,
People
yeah,
do it, and there's no money involved in that. So people do strange things.
yeah.
There's another individual whose name shall not be mentioned in the field target world who was a decent shot in the Hunter PCP ranks. He was caught cheating at Michigan. He was asked, go away, and he'll never come back to any after event. So he's banned for field target in this country for life because he cheated. And he didn't do so once, he didn't do so twice, but he did it 3 times, different ways. And the sad part is, the guy was a decent shot. He didn't have to do those things to gain an unfair advantage.
Right.
And there's no money involved in that. So you put
backyard sniper slugs in general have a better BC than pellets do. So they are more accurate.
Basically.
They are going to buck the wind a lot better. So, but yeah, I don't listen. I mean, number one, if somebody's got to cheat to win, I don't care anyway. I mean, listen, once again, and this is the difference between me and other people. I'm there to have a good time and represent the sport in a positive way, following the rules and doing what I'm told to do. I don't foresee anybody cheating at RMAC because I can tell you right now, nobody would want to be banned from I mean, dude, your name would be blasted everywhere for doing something like that. And honestly, you know, it's just not worth it. I mean, yeah, 21 grand's a lot of money, but dude, I'm there to have a good time. Listen, I don't foresee placing in the money. You know, I mean, number one, you know, I'm entered as a pro, and they actually say, like, right in the registration that if you have never shot in an event of that magnitude, that you shouldn't enter as a pro, which I have not shot in a magnitude of an event like that. But because I'm sponsored, that's how I get registered.
Right.
And you know, so listen, I'm there to have a good time. I mean, if I take any kind of money at all or any kind of prizes, then honestly, it's just a bonus, man. I'm there to have a good time and not be stressed. I stress enough in life over the bullshit that doesn't matter. So when I go to shoot my guns, I'm there to relax and have a good time. It's why I shoot now. I mean, I don't shoot because I have to. I don't shoot because it makes me miserable. I shoot because it's relaxing and a good time for me. It's a great time for camaraderie and, you know, meeting new people and being able to share Airguns of Michigan at RMAC and, you know, meet all the other guys, you know, that have big channels and, you know, some of the, you know, the team guys from other, you know, Airguns. And, you know, and that's what it's all about. You know, I mean, it's just not worth putting undue stress on anybody over shooting. It's
I'm just saying through my experiences on all kinds of disciplines, 22 small bore, 3-position rifle, my archery days, my crossbow days, that was crossbow. It's beyond me how with absolutely zero money in a sport, no monetary gain whatsoever, the amount of blatant cheating that went on. I mean, in '94, it was, I could do 3 episodes just on what happened at the '94 World Championships when I was a competitor. And in '98, when I was a U.S. team coach, I put in 32 grievance protests in the course of the weekend because we caught people cheating.
Well, the nice thing about RMAC, guys, and just to clear this all up, because we're not talking crossbow competition, we're talking about airgun competition. There's only really one way to possibly cheat, and that is strictly if you were to slip a slug. And honestly, I don't see how that can happen. I've been told, because I asked myself, like, do they check your pellets? And they do. They are
Yep.
going to see the tin. You have to lay them out on the table. You have to load from you. That's another reason that you have to load your magazine after the competition starts. Your pellets are on the table. You can't come up with a loaded magazine because that could conceal slugs. You have to hand load right there at the bench. There's 100 people standing behind every single person that's sitting there. So do I think you can cheat? No, I really don't. I mean, at 580 bottles, biggest bottle you can have. It's pretty much the biggest bottle that you can get to put on a gun. You can't have dual tanks. Well, I mean, that's pretty obvious if you have dual tanks on your gun. You can't be tethered. Once again, that's pretty obvious if you're tethered. Outside of that, I mean, there's no
I can't see the reasoning.
caliber.
I can't see the reasoning why you wouldn't be allowed to have dual tanks, but you can top off as many times as you need to.
I don't know.
I don't see that reasoning.
I don't either. But those guys, obviously something came up, and it is what it is. I mean, the nice thing for me is, I mean, I plan on showing up, and my gun can shoot more than 25 rounds without filling up. So as long as I top off at the beginning, a couple of sliders, and the rest is history. I mean, I've got plenty of, air in my tank to do that. So, I mean, once again, dude, watch the videos on RMAC, man. It's all about fun. Everybody's here to have a good time. Nobody's sitting there thinking about how they're gonna, I mean, you can run any barrel. I mean, you can shoot up to 35 caliber, so you can't cheat over that. I mean, how are you gonna slip a bigger caliber in? They have to look at your pellets. So, I mean, there's really just nothing to really stress out and worry about. And, and if for some reason I mean, I can do anything to my gun I want. I can tune it, put any hammer spring in I want, run any barrel liner I want, I mean, there's no restriction when it comes to that, so everything else is pretty much just, let's just go have a good time.
I know what you're saying, but like I said, it's the New York in me. If you put money up for anything, people are going to be. It's a given to me. I mean, who would think that someone would cheat and field target? But they did. But they did. And there's no money involved in that. That's why I said sometimes money does some funny things to people.
Well, like I said, I mean, like I said, watch the videos on RMAC, dude. Standing behind every bench is literally hundreds of people that are either competitors and they're waiting for their round to come up, or it's just, observers. I mean, and it's not like half the people standing behind you aren't top known people. I mean, at one point, I'm going to be standing behind the bench watching guys. And I mean, there's somebody's always got their eyes on everybody. So, once again, it's not worth getting kicked out and potentially having your ass beat. 21 grand is a lot of money. And,
again, like I said, it's the New York in me that's coming out. And then I know. I've seen people do stupid crap for $5.
All right.
So. But
yeah, like I said, I don't stress over that stuff anyway. If somebody's got to cheat to win, listen, like I said, that's the other reason that I show up with just, I'm there to have a good time. I mean, if I make it to the finals, friggin', that's a bonus.
Well,
if I take 7th or 8th place, dude, that's just a triple bonus. That means I got a little bit of extra money for more beer that night. I mean, that's how I'm gonna look at it. I'm not gonna, go out and, and then on top of that, you've got, your smaller competitions. Like when I went out and did that egg shoot, there wasn't a lot of rules. I mean, you're allowed to use slugs in a egg shoot. Everybody that shot air in the egg shoot, because generally it's for 22 long rifle. And there was probably 5 or 6 of us airgun guys, and You know, everybody shot pellets. You know, we just had a good time. You know, I mean, like I said, I don't go out to these things because I think I'm the best or I want to prove something to anybody. I just want to go and have a good time. And that's when you go from having a good time to stressing out over every single thing, then it's not fun. You know, if you miss or you miss really bad and you get on yourself and you're just like, beating yourself up because, you failed in your eyes, you're not having fun. And if you're not having fun, then put the air guns away, man. Start throwing knives at stuff. I mean, do something different in life than being stressed out or mad at yourself.
Backyard Sniper has a comment. Would you expect a Benjamin Armada to place? If someone used one in the pro class, I would count it out, because at pyramid bench rest competition in 100-yard competition in 2019, Mr. Bill Rabbit, I believe, used an Armada in 22, and he came in the money. He got, I don't know what he got, but he got, I think he ended up in 9th or 10th place. But he ended up with some money, and yes, he did place with a Benjamin Armada. So,
yeah, I mean, honestly, if you have a gun that can shoot 100 yards, the big thing to keep in mind is that, when you're shooting in really heavy wind, it definitely helps to have the right projector. Some guns at some tunes, like I shoot 44 grains. And I don't have a lot of problems. When I start trying to shoot the heavier stuff, I think I get more wind interference, so my BC goes down. But I mean, if you could shoot 100 yards, listen, this is what I tell people. In order to find out if a gun is 100-yard bench restable, and you want to know if you're ready for bench rest, find a nice calm day, very calm day, no wind or hardly any wind. And it happens everywhere. I mean, even at my range where we have terrible wind, we do have calm days. You wait for those really sweltering days when it's just so hot and there's just no wind. And if you can put together an MOA group, MOA, 1 inch at 100 yards with, say, 5 shots, 10 shots, probably 10 shots, then your gun is capable of shooting bench rest. So,
sure.
What do I think about a Benjamin Kratos?
Would do. If it's in 22, it'll reach out to 100 yards.
Yeah. Number one, I would never shoot a 22 and 100-yard bench rest. Not that they can't, but that Kratos doesn't create enough energy and enough speed in 22 caliber, because that's the Kratos that I have, to be able to accurately hit 100 yards. You would really struggle hard with a Benjamin Kratos. Honestly, I think you'd really struggle with an Armada too, only because I got a Marauder in 22. So, I'm just saying, I don't think that they shoot fast enough to be able to buck the kind of wind that you're generally going to find at 100 yards. It's not to say don't try, and it's not to say don't go out and have a good time, but it's hard to achieve a lot of those speeds out of those guns. It just is. So just my 2 cents, because I've got them. And
Bill Rabbit, when he shot his Armada in Pyramid 2019, what he did was he basically took action out of all that plastic Armada stuff, and he made his own bench rest stock for it. And he modified the Armada. I mean, he opened it up and put valves in it and opened up the valves and the transfer ports and all of that stuff. I mean, he's an engineer, so he kind of knows what he's doing in that respect. And he knew what he had to get out of the gun in order to be competitive or semi-competitive. I could safely say that the top 10 guys that came in the money in Pyramid, you had 3 relays of, there had to be 30 benches each. There had to be 100 guys involved in the bench rest competition. So to be in the top 10 with an Armada, or, granted a modified Armada, yeah, it can be done.
I know I could hit anything with any gun. It's all just the opportunity to put it in your hands and feel it. Yeah. I mean, it's, once
if it doesn't feel good, if it doesn't feel good in your hands, you're not going to feel good about the gun or confident about it. I got guns that shoot lights out, but I just don't like. I don't like the way it feels. My EV2 shoots great. I don't particularly like the way the gun feels. It's probably one of my better shooting guns, but it doesn't feel right to me.
Right. Speaking of 22s, though, and since I see Andrews in here, I did decide to go with the Daystate Red Wolf limited edition Heritage in 22 caliber HP. So that was the choice that I made. I didn't want another 30 caliber in that because I've got my mind set on a couple other 30 cals that I'm thinking of, and 25 was cool, but there's so many options in 22 that I figured I would take that Heritage in 22 caliber. So I'm super stoked about that, and just waiting for it to come in. So it is just about time for another beer. That's a good point, Peter. And once again, for those of you guys that are just now joining, memberships to Airguns of Michigan through YouTube are coming. And there's going to be some really exclusive offers for some of the memberships, including twice a year. I have decided to give away Airguns to the top tier of the exclusive memberships. So, just keep that in mind, guys. There are going to be some pretty decent guns that are going to be given away. And like I said, it's only going to be open to the top tier of the membership program. So just something to keep in mind. Going forward, I'm just waiting for YouTube to approve my membership status, which I don't foresee any issues. So looking forward to it. Hopefully you guys will be too. 22.
I'm getting closer. I'm getting closer to going live. I got like 5 new people this week.
Sweet. Yeah, if you guys haven't subscribed to Field Target Tech on YouTube,
I need a couple more. Then I can do this. I can go live on my own.
Yep.
Wrong way.
So
I'm probably around the 565, 570 realm. 965, 970 in through there.
Yeah.
I haven't looked at it in a couple of days. But Moose,
yeah,
there are look at some of the Ohio airgun competitions. One or more of them are doing 100-yard bench rest.
Yeah, we've got 100-yard up here too.
Right, but
they're smaller.
Some of the clubs are actually doing a formal match where everything is 100-yard bench rest. Some of them in preparation for RMAC.
Right.
So you might want to investigate that and take a trip out over to Ohio to maybe shoot one of them. Good practice. Shows it'll get you in the competition mode, so to speak.
Yeah, I'm actually, like I said, I'm actually
this way you'll have a competition under your belt before you go to the big one, so to speak. So you might know what to expect.
Yep. That's a good point. Yeah, and I mean, guys, in almost every state there's airgun, places. There's, guys that get together to shoot air guns, do a little bit of research and look out and reach out to those guys and, see if you can be part of it. I mean, I've, as a matter of fact, I was just out shooting when I was shooting my Texan video, and one of the guys that showed up at my sportsman's club, actually came over and was talking to me and advised me that he used to shoot field target. And I was blown away. Like, I was like, really? And he's like, yeah, man, I haven't done it in a few because, our group that was doing it here kind of fell apart. But I know a couple of guys that are really jonesing to do it. And, so we're going to get, a field target group put together at my sportsman's club and shoot HFT and, field target and, and take it upon yourselves to go out and find somebody and, find somebody to do it. Argun, Brian just asked how much the memberships will be. They will be posted hopefully tomorrow or the day after, but they start as little as $5 a month, and they go up from there. So I think there's 5 different levels of membership, and so you guys will be able to check that out. So Brian, that's perfect for you, man. You've got a YouTube channel and a following. Put something out on YouTube that, hey, listen, if anybody's in this area of California, let's try to get together and look up your local sporting, your hunting clubs or your sportsman's clubs. A lot of those guys have ranges set up and, and go and get yourself a membership and, start introducing guys to air guns. I've yet to sit down at my sportsman's club and not have somebody come over and say to me, really? Air guns? And then we go down to compare targets and they're like, wow, air guns. Yeah, air guns. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, that being said, I just looked up the website with all the calendars and everything on it for some of the stuff here on the East Coast. This Saturday, there is a field target match in Damascus Airgun Club in Maryland. So if anyone's near Maryland, there is a field target match there. And up Sunday, up in Wappingers Falls, New York, which is around Poughkeepsie, New York, there's going to be a field target match, which I will be at. That's one of my local clubs that I shoot at. Also, next week at Rockville Fish and Game Association in Connecticut, they're having a mini field target demonstration. If anyone's from Connecticut or the surrounding area watching this and you've never seen field target or you like to try it or watch a demonstration, and they'll put you on a seat and stick a gun in your hands and let you try it. There'll be a demonstration there going on at the Rockville Fish and Game Association.
Well, let's do this because, hold on, let's do this because I'm not here to promote other clubs. I mean, I want to help you guys out. Why don't you share the website live?
Okay.
What the website is, because that way it's
How do I
better
do
than
that?
eating up a bunch of time just reading off a bunch of events.
Right. Well, I said I would spit out a couple events that are in close proximity of when we're here. So if anyone's interested in any of that stuff.
What's the website?
You can look at Broome County Sportsman Association.
Is that where you found that whole list?
Yes, they have the list of everything on, like, some of the Midwest stuff, everything on the East Coast, all the way up to Maine and some Ohio stuff, some Pennsylvania stuff.
So once again, that's
BCSBCsportsman.org.
There you go. So if anybody that's watching this any of events in the Eastern Coast or East Coast, let's go ahead and send them over there.
And once you go onto the website, click on the field target link, and that'll give you the calendar of all the field target events.
So do they have events for bench rest as well? Or
Um,
is it just field target?
I'm about to tell you in a second. They have activities: silhouette, traps, order rifle, field target, indoor pistol, outdoor pistol, high power rifle, CMP rimfire league, junior programs, hunter safety.
All right, so yeah, it's pretty much field target. So
It's everything. Little of everything.
Yeah, yeah. I just don't want to eat up a bunch of our time talking about events
Gotcha.
that don't have anything to do with everybody that's here in the group.
Right.
But if people want to
People
check
have
out, Tom gave you the website. You guys feel free, go out, check out that website. And and there's other events in other areas as well. If you guys just go out and Google Hunter Field Target events near me. Something's going to pop up. Reach out to one of the clubs and just ask, like, hey, do you guys have a link? Because there's a lot of, that's how I found out about Kalamazoo here in Michigan, is I Googled, and I Googled exactly what I said, and it popped up, and I made a phone call. So you guys can all do the exact same thing, and we're not going to eat up a bunch of time talking about any more of that for now, but we are going to get back to competition and how much fun we can do. This is what we're doing. So it's RMAC, a top contender match. Like, you better enter a few local competitions first, or is it really just sign up and see how it goes? They have two different classes at RMAC. So they have pro class, and then they have
sportsman's class.
And as a matter of fact, they even have a junior as well, which you can enter, your younger shooters into, and really just it's for everybody. Like I said, we're here to have fun. That's why we do this. And I'm never going to promote stressful shooting. I'm never going to promote, you got to spend a ton of money in order to do it, because you don't. It's about fun, like I said, and like Tom said, can you make an Armada shoot 100 yards? Yeah. Do you want to go out there with an unregulated gun? Probably not. But you can definitely do the work to those guns and make them capable.
I'm the type of guy that would do something like that just to do it.
Right. We know.
Why not?
Right. But there is a cost involved, and that's another thing too, right? I mean, to register and to go to the banquet, it's $300. So, are you going to spend $300 and take your unregulated gun just to go shoot? Yeah, maybe. I mean, it's a good time. It's a great place to meet a lot of people. But generally speaking, I would suggest going out, shoot 100 yards. See what kind of groups you can put together, and if you're shooting decent groups, then absolutely take it. Let's go.
Do it, 100%.
Right, I understand that, but the Olympics has junior classes that will outshoot adults all day long. Yeah, no, backyard sniper, no. It's for everybody. Airgun fun. That's exactly right. I want to do it to meet the people that are as into it as me. Exactly. And that's what this is all about. I mean, you're going to go there and you're going to leave knowing a heck of a lot more people than you knew before you got there. I mean, and not only that, but you're going to be able to meet all of the major YouTube content creators too that you all watch, right? And that I watch. Listen, I'm just as excited to go there and meet Rick Ray in person as you guys are, and I mean, just because I have a YouTube channel doesn't mean I know everybody. I can't wait to go out and see Joe, Cyclops Joe, and, and I mean, meet Donnie FL and, meet the, I mean, dude, Steve from AAC and
meet the masses.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's going to be there. So, Backyard sniper. My family don't give a care. Exactly. I'm not there to, like I said, I don't expect anything. So anything that I do, and don't get me wrong, I'm not going to go out there and just, intentionally not shoot to the best of my ability, but I'm going to go out there and have a good time. So Backyard sniper says, Tom, are you going?
I am not. I have other field target commitments coming up at that time of year that I have to prepare for. So,
Right.
plus it's a long way, and I do not like to fly, so that's not really an option for me.
We're driving.
Mm.
You could go. We got a guy leaving from Pennsylvania. He could pick you. You could meet up with him and pick me up along the way, and then pick Andrew up after that. I hope they are next to each other on the bench. Going to use your target as my sighter. You know, the funny thing is, I was planning on doing the same thing with yours, except I'm such a good shot, you'd probably win off my sighters.
Well, they have ways.
I hope that we are next to each other as well, man.
No, what they do is everyone will there'll be like a drawing the night before or whatever that'll be supervised by, I guess, whoever, and your bench assignments will be drawn out of like a tumbler or a hat or something. Everyone's names will be in it, and they'll say, okay, this person is on. This is for bench number 1. They'll pull a name out of a hat. So it's all a random thing. So you're gonna get whatever bench is whatever you get. So there's
the schedule right there.
If there's a preferred spot in the range that you want to be, no one will get that preferred spot if they want it. It's going to be all luck of the draw.
Yeah, I just posted a link to the schedule for RMAC. So that'll tell you everything starting from Wednesday and going through Sunday. And it'll tell you exactly where you need to be, when you're going to be there, and, you know, all that good stuff. Started taking the M3 apart. That's dangerous. You better not cheat. You better not pack your stock with slugs and single load.
Well, I tested those barrels I got the other day, actually.
Yeah.
I tried the 20.
Don't buy a Huma probe, new 30 probe. It's about the same hole size. Right on, Andrew. I appreciate that. Yeah, but hopefully my M3 will be here, I don't know, maybe next week after. All I know is I'll have plenty of time to tune it and be ready. Plus, you're doing all the legwork, bro. This is going to be a piece of cake. We're on the same team. Like, I mean, you're going to be like, bro, I'm shooting lights out at this, and this. And I'm going to be like, dude, I'm shooting lights out too.
But I got to play with my barrels, and I was surprised, actually. The 1 in 16 twist seems like the way to go. So we'll see how that works out.
Well, interesting, Backyard Sniper. He said, it's actually because of you, Moose, that I decided against asking farms to let me pest hunt. You know, that just shows a level of maturity, brother, that I wish more people had. You know, pesting is not for everybody. And, you know, I was talking with Norm from 68 Whiskey, and he actually talked to me because I posted that video out about pesting and knowing what you're doing. And, you know, he said that him and Keith actually use Google Earth to tell them how far away from other dwellings and buildings they are, and in what direction those things are, so that, you know, if they do miss, which they miss, that slug that they're sending out of that 30 or 25 or 35 isn't traveling and potentially gonna injure somebody. So, you know, it's just one of those things, man. It's very cool. Only thing that sucks about fast twist is wind. True story. Lights out at 20 yards is not good enough at my current level. I don't want anything to suffer. That's another good reason as well. Having that ethical hunting, you know, attitude is is a very good thing in my opinion. Um, I don't want anything to suffer either. And I certainly don't want to injure something and have it get away to where I can't dispatch it, even if it took a second shot, and just let something suffer for being an animal. So, that's a true story. You know, but
The only thing I have high contempt for is New York City rats. That's about it.
right. You ever shoot them?
Oh, there's a couple guns here that have a couple notches in them.
Well, they're not actually there because of where you live, right? They're in a safe place where they're allowed to be.
But I dispatched a rat years ago with my Crossman 10 pump thing with a scope on it that cost more than the gun did at the time. And it was an 18 power Tasco. And I put it on that, and it was a duplex reticle on it. I sighted the thing in, and I will tell you, this thing, to a 14-year-old kid at the time, this thing looked like a bear's head in that scope. And the power that gun had, I was very surprised. I went in between his eyes. It went through his skull. It went along the spine in the back, and the pellet came out his tail and hit the wall. I seen the dust of the concrete wall he was against when it came out of him. He did one flip, and that was it.
That was it.
He was a big one, too.
Yep. Yeah, and honestly, man, like backyard sniper, I mean, listen, there is a lot of body shots, but let me tell you something. The amount of kinetic energy that those slugs or pellets are carrying when they hit an animal, even in the chest, it's such a shockwave that it literally shuts everything off. I mean, yes, you're going to see a little foot kick or, rolling around a little bit, but I assure you those things are dispatched. They are done. There's no recovery from that. Like I said, the shock wave that goes through their body instantly stuns the shit out of them, and it's over like quick.
So. I pegged a squirrel with a 25. I believe it was the 25 grain Kings. Does that sound right?
Sounds about right.
For 25 grain.
Yeah.
And it was probably about a 15-yard shot, and I whacked him in the head, and it didn't even move. I mean, it didn't flinch, it didn't move, it just stopped. So they have a lot of power to them.
Yep. But anyway, does anybody have any questions specifically for Tom or I? Because we are at an hour, and I got to pee like a jackrabbit.
It was an hour already, huh?
It's already been an hour.
Time flies when you have fun.
Jason C says the off button. Exactly right. That's exactly right. Well, all right. Well, listen, hopefully we let you guys know that, listen, competition, in my eyes, is to have fun. This is why we shoot air guns, guys. We're not shooting air guns to live stressed out. We're not shooting air guns if we don't do great at a competition. And if you're so competitive that shooting at a competition is stressing you out or is going to make you unhappy in life, because you don't do well, then personally, my suggestion, find another hobby. And that's
or don't compete.
Or don't compete, right? Because listen, I don't care if I do great or if I do good or if I do awesome or if I do bleh, because I'm there to have fun. Every time I pick up an air gun, guys, it's to have fun. That's all it is. headshots, the Twitch flop is a good sign. Exactly. So, just keep that in mind. Don't be afraid to join a competition, have a good time, meet some new people. You might just learn something too, and that's half the fun as well. But until next time, I'm Moose. This is Airguns Michigan. That's Tom Holland. We'll see him next Tuesday. We're going to see Andrew Friday, and maybe even before then. I'm going to try to see if Andrew will come and join us earlier this week so we can talk some more blah, blah, blah. But till next time, take care, be good to each other, and God bless you all. We'll see you tomorrow night back here